And good morning, people. Welcome back to Might and Magic 10 Legacy. We're still roaming the countryside, filling out a few areas, meeting strange and unusual people, and getting ambushed by undead, at least in this place. The Lost Ruins, the Lost City level 3. Probably the most dangerous of the 4 levels of the Lost City. Mostly because...
This one is mine.
Oh, hello. The enemies here are probably at their most dangerous. They're the highest level things, the skeletal spearmen, and I think there's a couple of elites somewhere in there as well. Yeah, there's an elite.
Oh, that hurts.
1 health. How did you stay up? Let's party. We shouldn't really have too much in the way of trouble here, at least where I am in my equipment and levels. So there is that.
I feel stronger.
But it's always going to be a bit of a slog in this area. Don't really care about you being weakened, Shayla, so we'll just leave you like that for the moment. Just remove the blocks, and so I get some decent hits in. And Tino is weak. Actually, I didn't put some shatter down, did I? Yeah, when that happens. Good reason. Celestial Armor's still up, so let's just heal, just make sure I'm full health.
My strength, that hurt, is leaving me.
And I think we're good.
I kill you.
And well, you can just shatter. 96 and 76 even with being weakened, so how much are you down to? 17. Shows you how much my skills have actually helped me, having this much in axe and dual wield for the damage, and having some actual decent weapons. And of course you get hit by that again.
I kill you.
But as long as Ray isn't weak, I'm perfectly fine with things happening. Another Dispel Magic Scroll. I'm actually might need them later. And there's this room, which can't be opened on this side. Ah, is this what the button does? I was curious to see what this button did. If it is the way to open that door, that would make sense. Yeah, because I can't interact with this door at all. And we can definitely hear the enemies on the other side of it. Okay, so that mystery is solved. Let's fight the spectres that are just about to appear. 4 spectres. 2 elites, 2 normal, I believe. So let's prepare ourselves for them. no point putting Poison Cloud up. Burning Determination is next turn, so normal, normal and elite, and a normal. Elite goes first. And Burning Determination. Just so I don't have to deal with Torpor. Because I still don't actually have a way of removing that.
And stay doom.
Let's go round the corner, round the clockwise, I suppose.
Enemy attacking from behind.
And Tina's unconscious. Okay. Easy enough. $122. Sure, it's critical. Shadow bolts. Dark resistance is 21. 21 is not a small amount, really. So the fact that they hit really hard with their spells still is actually quite worrying.
I kill you.
Torpor is fine. Having you miss Ray isn't nice, and I didn't have Burning Determination up. I got lucky. Now let's Radiant Weapon it. I thought I would have killed it then.
And stay down.
Oh well, they're all dead now. And this light has been lit. So this room here, we should be able to interact? Yes, we can. As much as I don't want to deal with the as I want to deal with the Spectre first, because Torpor saving on mana for Burning Determination. There's a heck of a lot in this room. My normal way of dealing with this room is leaving the Spectre, killing the thing that comes next to it. And that way I only have to deal with 2 enemies at a time. They are all stuck in that room because the other door is not open. This door is. So they cannot get behind me. However, I do want to just get rid of this Spectre because I don't want to waste too much mana, I suppose. So let's do that. Still, the most things can come at me is 3, so I guess that's a bonus. So you're dead, and sure, if I can deal with a Spectre each time, that's fine. Just attack. Still got Burning Determination up. You're dead, and I don't need to worry about that. Actually, I didn't have Burning Determination up. Sorry, had Celestial Armor up still. Okay, so no Spectre, don't have to deal with them. Cool, I guess. I think Iris has become my sort of pinata. unfortunately. She does have the least armor value, apart from Shayla, and the least evasion value. But she does get hit quite hard for some reason. Not sure. Celestial armor. Let's regeneration. Break some armor and well attack. Shayla can be as weak as she wants. Let's break your armor. Kill you and continue on this Spearman.
My strength is leaving me.
Break your armor ready. Fix that. Yeah, this room is probably the most dangerous room out of the lot, but it's just made easier by the fact that you're fighting on one side. You actually can't get away. Even if you came through the other door, they would still come in front of you in the first turn. So you can't really have anything to worry about in this area. Let's attack the one I've already damaged. And there goes that one. And Elite Ravenous Ghoul. Let's break your armor ready and kill this Skeletal Spearman, I think. I think we're pretty much done. One more Spectre at the back. I think that's Elite. One more Skeletal Spearman over there. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. As much as I want to attack you, because you're actually more dangerous, this Elite goes first. Who's weak? No one. Okay. Iris is weak though. Shayla, you can drink a potion. And next time I think Tina is as well. That Spectre can actually die, I think. Drink a potion. Burning Determination. $252, 221 when weakened. Down to 17 might and 20 perception. Not too bad, actually. Let's make sure I actually do the proper amounts of damage, which is 300s. And Spectre next. Okay, you're dead. I think that's all the Spectres now. And I think you're the lone Spearman left. Yeah. And now you're not existent anymore. So let's get my stuff back. Apparently this one fell on the floor.
Ancestors made this strong.
And we're pretty much done with all the undead in this area. There is a chest over there. Before we go to get it though, although this is the most dangerous level of the Lost City, it's only really if you decide to come to this area at the same time you go to Lost City level 1, 2 and 4. Because I've delayed it up until this point, it's a lot easier, and although this fight is a lot of people, it's pretty much a marathon event more than a true you're going to be attacked on all sides event, because the enemies will keep coming and you sort of need to be prepared for that. Outside of that though, at this point it's not too bad. There is one more place that has undead that we will be going to soon, and is a lot, I would actually say is more dangerous than this by quite a bit. However, this next fight can get tricky. Yeah, this is just too convenient to have a chest out in the open, isn't it? And we haven't had a boss yet. Say hello to the crystal spider. Crystal shell. Crystal shards. Yeah, I don't believe this thing can actually move normally from area to area. Let's heal. Yeah, I don't think it can actually move normally, so doing this. So the fact that I've gone out of its line of sight means it can't do crystal shards. If I was just to run towards it, I would have been pelted. And I wouldn't have had a good time. So let's put my defences up. Crystal shards is a prime attack, so it does get weakened by primordial resistance. So there is that, but it still hits extremely hard. Stone skin, you can defend and don't really have anything for you to do, so defend as well. And thank you for attacking normally. Free attacks. It's a boss, so poison, manipulation of body and mind don't affect it. Because it can't move normally, as far as I've seen, putting poison cloud in front of it doesn't affect it at all, because it just doesn't move and you have to wait. It's a large creature, so Ray is going to do a little bit of extra damage. And of course crystal shell, which you put up, armor value is increased by 35, the resistance of all 7 schools of magic is increased by 70. So basically it increases every single part of its defense. Luckily I have a way to deal with that. But yeah, 0 damage. Resisted all primordial. It is a primordial creature, so there's the reason. Resisted 54 earth. That's the result of this crystal shell. I'm actually surprised you didn't resist completely and not have acid splash on you. Ray, you're not going to attack this turn. Iris, you are going to use one of my purge scrolls to get rid of crystal shell. It gets rid of one dispels all positive conditions from target enemy in close combat. So yeah, that crystal shell is now gone. It may put it back on, and it's gone. Blink. The enemy has blinked somewhere in these 2 rooms. You actually moved. Okay, or did you just go up? No, you couldn't have moved because of Crystal Shell. You cast Crystal Shell, so... Okay. Bit confused about where you actually were. But I'm going to leave Crystal Shell up for now. Really, although I have these purge scrolls, I don't have many. I don't want to waste them. And here is its, what, 4th ability. We've seen Crystal Shell, we've seen Crystal Shards, we've seen it blink. This is Crystal Cage. We cannot move. We are in combat with this Crystal Cage. Luckily, all we have to do is just, well, beat it. Immune against torn armor, because, well, there's no armor to tear. Luckily, it literally doesn't do anything to you. And once you've defeated it, it's all on. And we can now go back to fighting the spider. Let's put some light on the subject so you can get a good look at it. And I think defend. Still have plenty of mana, so yeah. The crystal spider is basically one of the moon silk spiders, I think, but this one's just... No, that can't be right. I think it's the same model as the moon silk spider, just bigger and stronger and has different everything. But let's get through this. I believe the Crystal Spider calls for Crystal Cage at 75%, and we'll be seeing another version soon of that. Okay, you're down, that's fine, I can deal with that. Let's Stone Skin. Interesting, so its physical attack isn't really that strong in terms of physical damage. It's all mostly primordial damage. So if you're wanting to fight this spider, the best thing to do is come in with prime defenses. Fair enough. And I'm actually going to leave it on that. I could kill it with Iris, but I did want to show this. Explosive Crystal Cage. The oscillation. The dome is building up until it explodes in 3 turns. This cage will explode in 3 turns. Taking us, doing quite a bit of damage to us, I believe. We've only had 1 turn, really? So you actually have 4 turns. Or it could explode just like that. I'm actually still in combat with it, but it seems to have exploded. Excuse me? That was odd. It only did 31, 34, 34, 34, but I didn't actually take damage as well. I didn't have Celestial Armor up. Explosive Crystal Cage may be very much bugged. It had an extra turn where it did some, did the explosion animation, but didn't actually disappear, and then it just disappeared and didn't do the damage. That actually was very odd. And you blinked over there. Thankfully, I don't think you can attack me from there. Okay, maybe you can. Nope, maybe you can't. So you can move, you just choose not to in most cases. Okay. Let's finish this. I'm going to have Shayla finish it with Radiant Weapon because she's lagging a bit behind in the experience, and 25 extra is not too bad. But we got, as you could see if you was looking, something called the Crystal Spider Heart. Yeah, Crystal Spider's Heart. Not sure if it's organic or mineral, but it does stink. That is a quest item. It's along the same lines as the Elven Toadstool. It's used for Craghack's cure, or the quest to get him his cure. So, yeah, the Crystal Spider is part of that quest. Potion of Mana. Who needs mana? You did lose your lose the spirit, so you can have it, Tina. And lots of items. Couple of a few hour of power scrolls, which aren't too bad, and I'm not actually sure what these do. I guess we'll find out. But the most observant of you will notice that there is this here as well. This is the Shard of Fire. Our final shard. We have them all. We've used the wind, water, dark and earth. We should probably go and use the light and fire ones, shouldn't we? But essentially the Lost City level 3 is now complete. The whole of the Lost City is complete now, so we don't need to worry too much about what's going on there anymore. We've got all the items, we've got the shards, we've got that last chest with the very obscure wording.
Humans love their little rooms and little corridors,
And the entrance to the slums or the Carfel jail? Well, the slums is definitely the way we're going. Mostly because it puts us out next to Black Fang hideout and I can check their goods again. Anything interesting? Ring of Spirit. That's a lot of evade value. And to be honest, I think I might go with that for you. Because you have a helmet that is absolutely terrible. Yeah, let's pick it up. It's 20,000, so but 10 resistance to all magic schools. Sure. The evade value is a bit of a bonus. Plus 4 levels to the dagger skill. If that was arcane, I might have considered it, but it's not, and I'd rather have the health on Tina at the moment, I think. At least until I get a few more points of endurance. There is going to be a point where I'm going to pick up these elixirs, but I'm not sure when yet. Arcane resistance increases all magic schools resistance by 1%, or just basically by 1, and the elixir of potency gives 1 to all attributes. They're actually fairly nice and fairly rare. But I'm going to go and identify all this equipment that I've got here, and we'll then have a look at it and go to the Elemental Forge. Okay, so let's check what we've got. A lot of green items. Arcane resistance to all magic schools. Okay. And another one with all resistance. So basically that chest had prime items in. Sort of like we were getting at the Elemental Forge. For the rewards after defeating the avatars. Plus 4 levels to the prime magic skill. On successful attack, all enemies in the group of the target are dealt 13 prime damage. Same and same. So these are essentially offensive style armors. You equip them and you can deal a little bit of extra prime damage with your attacks. Not bad, but I wouldn't say it's good. What else did we get? 4 levels to the sword skill and resistance to all magic schools. That would be very nice if I had someone with a sword skill. Another sword item. Really, having the feedback is not great. 14 resistance to air magic and 38 maximum health. That's a lot of health, but I think everyone has... You have feeble-minded, which is necessary, spear skill, which is good for you, dagger skill, which is good for you, and light magic, so that's not very helpful. And Hour of Power, which we already know about. Okay. Hello there. Arcane Archmage of the Light Magic Scholar. 5 levels to the Light Magic skill and a little bit extra prime damage. I'm not actually going to buy this, mostly because it doesn't give any additional critical magic damage. There is a item right here actually, which does 15% critical magic damage. I'm not going to buy this one either, because if I'm going to get one that increases the damage, I want to have +5 to the light magic. So unless I get both, it's very unlikely I'm going to waste any more money to do a very minor increase. I want both the increased percentage and the increased light magic skill. And who knows, I might find one that does +6. I think they do exist, but they're very, very rare. So let's head over to the Elemental Forge.
No, it's nothing.
Might as well use these 2 stones, these last 2 that we need.
Piece of cake.
Well, yeah, it should be. And since the Shard of Fire is basically for here, we'll go for that one first. Strangely enough, in this area, there's 2 sets of elementals we have to face. One over there and one over here. Fire elementals. They have explosive. Did say we were going to see this a bit more often. The fire elementals have that ability. So let's put Fire Ward up. They will cast Fireball, I believe, almost exclusively. Firebolt, there you go. So that is pretty much the only skill they do, I think. And there was the explosion. You could see it sort of in the area, in the in its animation, and took 100 health. Took 100 damage. So okay, so explosive does do exactly 100 damage even through Fire Ward and through my resistances, which for fire I think are fairly high. Yeah, Ray having the lowest with 31. So that is not fire damage, that is just straight up damage. And boom. Yeah. It's going through all resistances, 100 damage. But there is a puzzle here, but I want to defeat the 2 sets of enemies first. And since you can cast Firebolt from afar, I'm just going to sit here and wait for you to come in. Strangely enough, even though they're elemental and lava based, they don't actually go on the lava.
Well, thank you for that.
Let's poison them, and might as well put Fire Ward up. And start wailing on them. I'm not particularly worried about them getting through Celestial Armor. 44 and 76, yeah. However, Explosion does get through. And you know what? Shayla can finish it off. Or they can just kill themselves. Oh, you died to the poison, didn't you? So yeah, 32 damage from that Firebolt is not really that much. Now, the trick of this, we need to get to, there is around there a little shrine. We need to get to it. If we pull these lever here, you can see that that's gone a bit further in. We need to make a path. So there's our little path here. And then that one moves automatically. I believe that's moved too far. No, that one is the one to go first. If we were then to use this one, I believe... No, this one is the one to go first. So basically we can't do it anymore. Because we're meant to do that one first. Move that one over. So yeah. However, if you do get it wrong, luckily there is this lever here, which resets everything. So, this one first. No. It was meant to be that one first. Okay, let's do it right this time. This one first. Then this one. This one. This one. This one. Step on this rock, which moves that along, and we should now be able to get to what's behind this rock. Yeah. Or, well, this here. As before, we activate the shrine, there is going to be an enemy appearing. So let's get our preparations going. Didn't want burning determination, I wanted Fire Ward. Stone Skin pretty much isn't helpful here. I think we're okay. Oh, so that's where you've appeared from. Pyronost. The others think you have that special spark of passion. That is the mark of a hero. He's burning to prove them wrong. Yay for fire puns. It did bring down rocks. We can now go where we couldn't before. Pyronost, our fire elemental boss. He doesn't say he's got explosion, but I'm not certain if he does or not. So let's just go on and assume he does. First things first, rip the armor as much as possible. I can't get away without having Firebolt. I could have done Skullcrack on the normal elementals, this one not, because boss. So let's just fight and see what happens. Prevented 191 damage and took 8 critical. Yeah, let's keep Celestial Armor up, shall we? Get rid of all your blocks, so Ray should do a little bit of damage, excellent. Ah, Fireball. Fireball and Iris, you are definitely our Pinata, having 251 critical. Yeah, Fireball hits everything, all my party, so that is probably his most dangerous attack. He doesn't have Fire Blast, I believe it is. Let's see. Yeah, Fire Blast, which is lucky because it actually does almost double the damage of Fireball. Yeah. We're going to have to do without Celestial Armor though in this fight, this turn, so it's like you've got a permanent provocation on you. This fight should be finished on this turn though, so there we go. Same again, we don't defeat the avatars of the dragons. We just fight them until their health bars goes down and then they say it's a draw. We're still standing. Unexpected. Maybe there's no smoke without fire after all. Arkath has decided to grant you his blessing. From now on, you will be able to sense the strong passions around you, like hostility or hatred. You'll feel threats before you see them. And he is gone. So no, he didn't have explosion because you don't actually defeat him in battle, I suppose. But, yeah. Blessing of Arkath. Additional fire resistance. Always a nice thing. And also raises your awareness of hostile beings around you. This actually isn't that impressive, to be perfectly blunt. Basically, with the fire, we get a permanent danger sense. This is why I've never picked it up anyway, and it's had really no use. It's just a little threat indicator up here. Tells you when there's enemies nearby. Usually you see them come in anyway. Fire Shrine's pretty impressive though, if not the spell. So let's go and get our goodies. We can now go over to the water side. The barrier has been lifted, so we can go round in circles if we want. But I'm here for the... Okay. Okay. There it is. The loot. So again, 2 rings, a amulet, and 4 weapons this time. Probably all green. Mana, you can go to Iris. Might be just me though, but there's no barrel for fire resistance. Did I just miss it? Ah, there it is. There's our fire resistance barrel. So a bit of money, a couple of potions are loot for the fire person, and our barrel back here. With that done, we've got one last shard to use. So the Elemental Forge level 3. Before we go to do it though, I'm going to go up to level 4. Each time we've been breaking these seals, getting these blessings, each of these have been awakened. So as you can see, we've got the fire, the water, air and earth, and the darkness. And we just need the light. And each has a tendril leading towards this. Still not active. Plus we've got a couple of other shrines there which seem to be in the way. So let's go and see what happens when we break open the last seal. After all, that is what we came here to do. Get the Shard of Light, get the Shard of Fire done. To be honest though, I have so much defense against light. 21 extra resistance for 17 turns.
Stronger. Something is coming our way. Be ready.
Oh look, the threat indicator has happened. I already see the enemies.
Greg, I need to hit something.
Searing Light. 2837. Ooh. I'm pretty sure this is the only spell they do. They do have 100% light resistance, I believe, so my light skills aren't really going to do anything. Not that I have anything better than Radiant Weapon. But really, these are... dead in the water, you could say. Yeah, Searing Light, as far as I'm aware, is the only thing they do. So they're no threat whatsoever. This puzzle, though, is very similar to the one we had in the Tower of Enigma. It's not the same exactly, but it's similar. So yeah, this one is actually a heck of a lot easier. I believe if you want to reset it, you just step on the panel over here and it resets. However, this is actually very simple compared to the one in the Tower of Enigma. You step on it, it turns off or it turns on. And we're done. And it leads a path up to the top, which is where our shrine is. I believe you can activate it from any angle, so there is that. I think I'm going to activate it from here because I believe the enemy comes on the other side of this, and I'd sort of like to show the animation that does actually happen. Every time we've faced a boss, it's forcefully turned us around, so we actually haven't got to see what they actually do when they become active.
Yes, more glory.
But everything turns around. You came looking for enlightenment. Can you see the light, or will you be blinded? Let's fight.
Who forgot to take a bath?
And no animation actually happened. Okay.
Red, I need to hit something.
Ah, there we go. So you have to actually get in combat with them, it seems. But yeah, the light comes from reflective things and shines up its beacon. This boss here actually really doesn't matter too much. Light Ward. Again, I've got Light Ward, so it really isn't that dangerous. Rizalin still does do 100 damage through Light Ward though. I'm pretty certain Searing Light is almost all that it does. So let's do the normal, break its armor as much as possible and let Ray get blocked. Okay. Let's make sure you don't have any blocks, and now Ray can actually do some damage. Yeah, this Light Elemental Rizalin though does not do much else. She doesn't even yet have heal, which is a staple of the light. Of the light magic. Doesn't do radiant weapon. We don't even see Searing Light as an ability that we can use. But then again, it's not like there's a lot of attacking options for the light. Radiant weapon is essentially the only thing they have. Would have been nice if they gave her, say, celestial armor, so she survives a bit longer. Word of Light, I can see why not, because that is a Grandmaster spell. None of the others have had Grandmaster. And Mandate of Heaven is class specific. But Celestial Armor would have been a nice thing to give her, just to make the fight last a little bit longer and not give you the feel of, well, that happened. Because it just did.
This looks powerful.
But Rizlin is defeated. We didn't blink, which is good. Elref is pleased. Give you the blessing of clairvoyance, allowing you to see traps before they are sprung. Yeah, and well, farewell. And there you go. But yeah, that fight just feels bad. It could have been... It's a very easy fight. When they could have given her, say, heal and celestial armor. Make it a little bit more challenging. Blessing of Elraf, though. Permanent. The gift of clairvoyance permanently. The spell clairvoyance is now ours forever. Seeing traps before they're sprung. To be honest, again, don't really need it. Sure, it's nice to ignore or know when you're actually going to die, because if you spring a trap, it's pretty much a game over, as we've already seen. So we can avoid them, but traps aren't actually that common. There was some in the Tower of Enigma, been there. Some in the Minesweeper tomb, been there. I cannot actually think of too many more examples of where there are traps. If anything, I would like to say there aren't any. Word of Light. I'm likely going to be keeping these scrolls for emergencies. Heavenly light that deals 100 to 140 damage light to each enemy within a range of 3, and restores health to the party. If I had that on Shayla, being able to use it, this team would pretty much be unstoppable. Because right now I'm doing, without the Grandmaster trait, 106 to 148. With the Grandmaster, I believe that's something like 130. Yeah. The Grandmaster spells in most cases are very powerful. The Word of Light being one of the most powerful out of them all. So I'm actually a little bit happy that I can't use that. But we are done with the Elemental Forge. Completely. There's actually nothing more we can do here. We've gained all the blessings, we've done all the... we've fought all the avatars, we've got all the items from here. I have believe just enough space for what I'm just about to pick up. But you can see where the change has happened. Very nice design of the Elemental Forge's figure. Light and dark on opposite sides, and then the 4 other elements in the middle. Each opposite their respective weakness. But what of Prime? Well, you notice the 2 pillars are missing, and they've been replaced by this barrel for Prime resistance.
Yes.
And this chest, which has that. Yeah, the Prime,
Powerful.
I'm not sure if they meant this, but I feel that this chest and the one next to the Crystal Spider got their identities mixed up. Because this really should have Prime equipment in to go with everything else that was like the other chests in this area. And while that is probably meant to be with the Crystal Spider, it might have been set up that way though, to because the Crystal Spider is technically a Prime boss, so it could have been set up that way. Who knows? I certainly don't. But yeah, the Elemental Forge is now in full operation. We don't need to worry about this anymore. So, yeah. Did we actually gain anything for activating everything? It didn't seem that way. We did have the quest though to activate everything. Suppose it's just the result of this is the result. Everything is activated. But next time we'll go and do something else. I need to offload, obviously. Most of this is going to be greens. But I'm not sure what to do next. I have one idea. Actually, I have 2 ideas. There is one more dungeon we need to go and do. There's a little bit of the Aegean Peninsula we haven't been to yet, so we might go there first. I'll make a decision and then we'll head out. But until then, have a wonderful day. Have lots of fun. See you soon. Goodbye.